You are listening to 600 Second Saga. Today's feature is Home Test by R.M. Donaldson from the Custodian Chronicles, The Rising. There was a moment frozen in astonishment. Then there was a bang from the front door. Cedric! Cedric knew he was in trouble and shut his eyes in dread. He pushed off his knee to his feet. Arlana followed. "What was that?" Margaram demanded, voice full of fury. "I don't know," Cedric stated resolutely and directly to his father. Inside, he wanted to look away, but he had to be firm. He couldn't show any weakness, any emotion. "You know what that was. What was it?" his father pressed. Cedric exhaled through his nose. "Magic." "Magic what?" "Magic, sir." "That's right," his father said. "Are you supposed to use magic instead of your blade?" "No." "What was that?" "No, sir," Cedric said more firmly. "Then why did you?" "It was a mistake, sir." Anger and resentment were boiling up inside of him. "Really?" his father said disbelievingly. "You didn't mean to? How the thrones do you use magic by accident?" "It was instinct." Cedric resolutely looked away from anyone, the rage licking at his heart. "She surprised me. I reacted before she could make the hit." "Father," Arlana cut in. "Silence," Margaram warned. Arlana bowed her head. Their father was the only person who could procure silence from her. "You are not to use magic on the field. It's a waste of energy and useless." "But, father, it wasn't inoperable," Arlana attempted. "I would have beat him if he hadn't done whatever he did." "I said silence," her father roared, halting Arlana's protests mid-objection. Margaram rounded on his son. "You are not permitted to use magic. You know this, yet you disregard my order time and time again." "I don't ignore it, sir," Cedric ground teeth. "Did you just contradict me?" Cedric didn't reply. The injustice churning inside him, wanting to break through its parameters. If only he knew. If only he wasn't such a harsh, cold, unfeeling... "How can I ever put you to the test if you can't even pass a modest home test?" "I've passed these tests consistently. I've beaten each of you at least once. If you put me in the field, I could do it." Cedric lost his patience. "I don't see magic as a liability. I use it. If Arlana really wanted to kill me and I hadn't used magic, I'd be dead. I used magic to do what had to be done. Don't you teach us day after day to do what it takes to..." "Are you arguing with me?" "It's about time someone stood up to you," Cedric shot back, making a moment of dead air. Something he said struck his father deeply. Whatever it was deeper than Cedric's defiance. But why? His father was on the brink of explosion. "What did you say?" "It's about time someone said what they thought around here. You know what? We don't always agree with you." "And you always agree with the commanding officer," Margaram said. "But you must follow his orders anyway, and not contend." "Then you are a bad soldier to allow your leader's foolishness to cause harm to your side," Cedric said. His father glared. "This is why you'd never complete the test," he said darkly. "It is this assertiveness that would get you killed." "I can accomplish it," Cedric stated. "Everyone but you believes. I'm far older than anyone else who's ever gone. Send me. I'll prove it. How will you ever know if you don't try me? I can achieve it. You could not. Let me attest it, Cedric insisted. If you don't think I could prove myself, prove me wrong. I am 3 years older than Arlana was when she was given the test. I'm 18 years old. I can handle this. I will not direct you to your demise just to prove a point. Please, I would not die trying to pass this test. Men have died before, Margaram said. Yes, but they were young and foolhardy. I am neither of those. I'm far over the age of any other of our ancestors. You know I'm not imprudent. I won't jump into a fight just to prove a point. I know how to handle myself. Give me a chance. Margaram looked at his son. All right, he said. Stop me. What? You heard me, soldier. Beat me. Cedric gulped, readying his sword. His father had his sword out and was striking before Cedric was ready. Cedric blocked it just in time. His father bared down, striking so rapidly, Cedric only had time to prevent the blows. He was forced backward. Cedric had to change the dynamics somehow, so he tried stepping to one side to throw off his father's rhythm. It half worked. It stopped Margaram's strikes, but a new one came up. Margaram turned and slammed his elbow into Cedric's face, sending his son barreling down. Blood spurted from Cedric's nose. Before Cedric could move, his father had a sword at Cedric's neck. As I said, not equipped. Margaram pulled back. Cedric was furious, getting to his feet, pinching his nose to stop the bleeding. Margaram glared at Cedric. Perhaps not foolhardy, he said, but young. Arlana and Roxarim went when they were earlier of age than I am now. Cedric snapped. I can do it. Give me another try. Fighting someone with as much skill and power will be a slim hit on the test. It's like putting a 7-year-old against a foot soldier. Give me a fair bid. I'm not risking an asset just so you can see how improvised you are, his father snapped. Cedric and his father glared at each other. Just a tool, am I? He said coldly. Margaram's face changed into an expression Cedric did not know. Cedric, Margaram said dangerously. Cedric was too irritated to care. You know it's true. You work me harder than anyone else, and you treat me like less than anyone else. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of you and your contempt for me. His father looked wounded, but not a sad, injured animal. More like an aggrieved dragon. You dare speak this to me? He hissed, his voice rising. You dare? Yes, sir, I dare. They stood there like angry statues, both made of unyielding granite. At last Margaram sighed. I will decide your punishment later. For now, I want to see you practicing blocking until supper. No arguments. Wouldn't fathom it, Cedric said through gritted teeth. His father scowled at him another moment. But they both turned away. This was The Home Test by R.M. Donaldson. Read more about Cedric in The Custodian Chronicles, The Rising. Cedric Custode is the youngest living protector of the world. Though blessed from the beginning by their creator with power to defend their world, the rest of the Custode has been wiped out by the evil sorcerer Heckless. It's up to Cedric to save the world, but he doesn't know it. His talents and passion for magic are their only hope, but his father refuses to let him use it. Can Cedric find out why in time to save his world? Can he find the source of his powers to enable him to overcome Heckless? Could a wicked sorceress be the answer to his plight, or the death of him? Can Cedric find out in time, or will he watch it fall into darkness? Find out in The Custodian Chronicles, The Rising, on Amazon or Kindle. Check our show notes for links. Music is provided by Mads. Learn more about 600 Second Saga, our authors, how to submit your flash fiction, and how to support the podcast in the show notes. This has been Mariah Avix and 600 Second Saga.